1,775 days. I said 1,775 days. That would be the number of days that Jose Pereira was in captivity. How do you think it would impact you, body, mind, and soul, to be in captivity for that length of time? For just the length of time, period, captivity. I'm Marlene Foster with Empower the Vision. Today we're going to talk about Jose's captivity and what it brought. We're going to talk about how discomfort empowered him, the discomfort that he experienced in captivity. How was he empowered? And also the uncertainty. How does uncertainty challenge us to move forward, to gain tenacity? Again, we're going to talk about, think about yourselves. Think about the different types of experiences that you have in your life. The captivity may not be where you feel something as external as you do internally. We all have that to occur. And I help businesses to protect themselves from the unexpected. So there are times when we put a plan in place, we may have a contingency plan, and something still occurs, something unexpected. The uncertainty comes rushing through the door, and now what? So today we're going to talk about Jose, the plan that he could have implemented. Is there a plan he could have implemented during uncertainty? What about the alternative? What type of alternatives did he have at that particular time? And think about his mindset. Adaptability. He learned how to adapt and change his way of thinking. And he and his colleagues, although they were actually being, like he said, dehumanized, that guards came in and it was torturous. Reading his book, you will discover, you can feel the pain. You can feel the pain and the anguish that he experienced. And, when I read his book, I thought about what if you had an abscess? Some of us have experienced abscess, right? What if you had an abscess and you went to the doctor and it was treated? The abscess was treated, but once you returned home, which was on a Friday, and that Saturday morning, it was worse. The doctor's office is closed, but you then rush to get to what? The emergency room. On the way to the emergency room, your car, you have car trouble. The car is now on the side of the road. Okay, at that point, you call a friend and they're not even home. You call a lift service and they do come. They come and they take you to the emergency room. Once you arrive, the emergency room is jam-packed. So the plan you had in place, the plan, of course, with uncertainty, there really is no plan, is there? Because you can have a plan, and when uncertainty hits, it hits. The alternative, what's your alternative to uncertainty? You can actually stop and think about all the different things that you might want to do, but would it be accomplishable at this particular moment? And last is adaptability, change. Just like Maya Angelou said, if there's something you're looking to change, she said, change it. But if you see that it's unable to be changed, she said, change your attitude. And that's what Jose did. He changed the way that his thoughts were. He changed and he didn't let all of the challenges that hit him, the torturous, the painful moves that were being made. He talked to me about the times that he actually experienced a coma. There was a lot of damage that was done to his body and his mind. His mind was the key, though. Adaptability fought back. And we'll talk about also, what I thought was interesting is I asked him about his book. How did you write a book in that type of situation? He said, Marlene, it was incredible. The book came about with letters between myself and my wife. Letters. Can you believe letters can actually lead to a book? But I wanted to tell you what actually came to my mind while reading Jose's book. While reading his book, I thought about so much that has happened in my life, the losses that I have experienced. And I thought about one time I was at a church. They had invited me to come and speak with them about some investments. So I came and I was setting everything up. I anticipated anywhere between 50 to 100 because this is a huge congregation, pretty large. Because they even had other buildings also surrounding them, on their location. So while I'm sitting there and getting everything straight, getting everything together, one of the ministers walks up and said, Marlene, the other buildings have lost power. And they want to know, can they join us? Would you allow them to come and join? And so I'm standing there and I'm thinking, okay, well, couldn't be, many more, no more than maybe. I thought I could handle maybe 50 extra. No, not 50 showed up. I ended up, the apostle told me that night, he said, I spoke to between 1,000 to 1,500 individuals who showed up that night. And you know what helped me was adaptability. My mindset was, okay, Marlene, there's nothing you can do except move forward here, right? So I did. I didn't have enough brochures, didn't have enough of really anything. But you know what I did have enough of? Boldness, courage. I spoke to them, I answered questions, and that uncertainty helped my business to take off and soar. Uncertainty, look at Jose today. Jose was an executive with Citco Oil, an executive who, definitely knew what being lucrative was about. He knew about, he was credible. People believed in him. His company trusted him. And there he was being invited to go to Venezuela. And then unexpectedly, he was imprisoned. Imprisoned. And I want all of you today, when you think about the books that you read, and this particular, the author challenge that I'm hosting right now, and it starts today. I'm starting it today because you'll get a chance to see his podcast that was held on Tuesday. It'll be held tomorrow. But look at how authors can empower readers. Think about the last book you read. How did that book empower you? What about the relationship building, the relationship that authors can reach out and build with their readers? That's what I'm looking to do in this challenge. And that's what Jose is inviting you to do with him. When you join tomorrow, when you go and listen to the video, the recorded video, he invites you to come. Come if you are a new author, come if you are who's looking to, and you have to excuse me to also that there's a storm surrounding me right now, and unexpected. And we've been dealing with a lot of storms lately within my community. So we've been having power outages. So we will continue on, okay? We'll continue. But what I was saying is that authors empower readers. And what we're doing in this challenge is this. I'm inviting authors to come and do what Jose is doing. Come and lift out your hand and say, come and let's do a podcast together. Come and let's talk about the expertise that you might have. Come and collaborate with authors. Collaborate with writers who are looking to become authors. Collaboration. That's what helped Jose Pereira to grow. He said, most importantly, faith, his trust in God. And can you believe Jose's book is now being used in ministries around the world? His book, I have never heard of a book that is actually being used. Not a book that was meant to be spiritual, but his book is being used to save lives and to let us all know that we're all survivors. And Jose says that we all have the instinct to survive. We all have it. When you're tested, and many of you already have been, just as I have, when that test comes, that test opens the door for you to be able to finally see, for you to now sit and change some habits, change your way of thinking, and know that you have the bravery and the stamina and the endurance to make it through, just as Jose did. When you read his book, that's what it's going to reinforce in your life. Read his book. It is so interesting. I stayed up all night reading, and I have a book review I want to share with you today. I have a book review that totally and completely, it just, like I said, it opened the door wide for me. It let me see a lot of different things. I co-authored a book, boundaries, beyond the boundaries, living in life's gray zone. We all experience this, right? And that's what Jose did. He was living in life's gray zone. Life gray zone is uncertainty. And in my book, if you ever pick up a copy of it, you will see. And those who've read it know that, okay, I'm a co-author, so mine is a co-author. So it's one chapter, but it talks about something that happened to me that was so unexpected. But my daughter was pregnant. This was my second grandchild, and we were all excited. She was born November 15th. November 15th. November is a symbolic month right now for Jose, as it is for me as well. On the 15th of November, my second grandchild was born. And in January, she died. In the book, I tell you about, at that particular time, I was invited to write the book. And I almost declined because of her death. On reading this book written by Jose, it brought all of this clearly to my mind. And it brought it back to me also, those businesses that I work with. And I'm letting them know that you can't plan for everything. But you know what you can plant? You can fertilize the seed of adaptability. Fertilize. Fertilize, everybody. Don't forget to do that. Jose, when he first arrived there in Venezuela, he was away from his wife, his family, his children. I think for the first 30 days, they didn't know where he was. The first 30 days. But he held on. He held tight. And his book lets you know that even as he and his colleagues were there together. I think he even told me about one person he know of who was there died. That person died. As you see, like he said to me, he said it now continuously. Marlene, your mind, you have the mind that can empower you to make it through any type of challenge that you face. You have it. And now I was looking at LinkedIn, I was on Facebook. Guess what I ran across? Jose. Jose is out there. Jose is speaking to audiences all over the world, different age groups, generations. He's talking. He's letting you know what happened to him. He's authentic. Let your authenticity also come forth, because he's bold about what happened with him. And he's actually, again, encouraged me to do this, do the same. So I want to stop right here and share something with you, okay? And I hope that Jose is listening right now. And Jose, I wrote this, and this will be on your book review, The Resilience of a Brave Survivor. This is my what I've written. Jose courageously reminds us that uncertainty can occur at any moment. His book and presentations boldly state that we all possess the will to survive with the tenacity to fight back. There was no plan that could save Jose. The alternatives were few. The armor that empowered him was adaptability. Today, Jose's trust lies in the faith that he has in God. I found it unbelievable how he and his wife powerfully and lovingly shared letters that embrace the book from hero to villain. His journey started as an executive for Citgo Oil. Jose's journey proved that wealth truly soars with faith and bravery to uplift others. Today, he empowers communities with a mission to support families and those who are still in captivity. He's still looking out. He's still reaching out to network with families and to help in captivity. His book is being used in ministries. Can you believe that? The book, From Hero to Villain, is being used in ministries today to show how uncertainty may disrupt your life, but overall, the wounds that you now possess empower you to travel a new journey, to exemplify the wealth of resilience. And in conclusion, Jose's book has inspired my journey to envision the future that I seek to achieve, collaborate as his political prisoner. As a political prisoner, he and his colleagues face physical and mental challenges. They courageously fought and persevered. In this challenge, you will have an opportunity as authors to reach out and relate and to embrace readers, create relationships. Those, just because you've written a book and you don't know who's reading your book, you need to step out and reach out to them. Let them know you want to hear from them. You want to relate. You want to hear what they're facing right now. Authors can help you by allowing you, just as Jose does in his book, From Hero to Villain. He's showing you how you can start off in one place in your journey and look at where he is today. Ask him, had he ever anticipated doing what he's doing right now? He said, Marlene, I had never anticipated this. He said, but look at me now. Look at him. Look at authors. Authors can teach, embrace. They can let you know, again, they also give you a deeper understanding of what the book or what the content is talking about. You get a deeper understanding there. And authors receive from their readers a confirmation, stories, experiences that they can say that, look at what your book did for me. Look at what I've accomplished. Look at where I am today. This is where I was yesterday, and here is where I am today. Readers can give authors a brand new perspective that they may not even thought about, a perspective now that can be used in their second book, a perspective that now, if someone comes to me and it's something that, a question that they may have, because you can now ask questions. When you reach out to your to your readers, you're allowing them to ask questions. So those questions can also be brought up when I'm doing, if I'm a keynote speaker or if doing a type of presentation, just as Jose does, you can now address what readers are asking you, what readers are saying. I would love to know more about resilience. I'd love to know more about when you were in prison, how did you make it there? And ask them questions, something that you've dealt with on your own. Now you can ask the authors, ask them and have them again to do. They can speak about it publicly. They can speak about it on posts. They can speak on live streams. They can speak about all of what challenged them. And they can also invite you at that point, your questions, your experiences can help them to rise and help even more people. So I want to say to you today, if you do, there are questions you have. I'm ready. Jose is ready. And please reach out to him. This is a man, a type of person. Actually, I've never met anyone before like Jose. I haven't personally. And Jose, if you're listening to me today, if you see me, I want to say to you that I am. Oh, thank you, Jose, for that comment. Thank you for your brave leadership. Looking forward to learning more about your journey. Thank you. Thank you again, Jose. And thank you for your humility, the humility that you share, your trust in God, your willingness to collaborate with readers, your collaboration that you've given. I've seen how you've collaborated and you're still doing it continuously. Jose, I've run across so many of your videos. I've been on YouTube. I've been on some other different sites, and I wasn't looking. I wasn't looking, but it came up and I just laughed. I said, look at him. Look at Jose. Jose, guys, he is pumped up and ready and willing. He's ready to make a difference in your life, in my life, in so many lives, and globally all over the world. He's willing. Have the willingness yourself. Read his book, share it, refer it. And again, the top 3 winners who have the most referrals in terms of reading his book and the book reviews will be the winners. And you will receive a free copy of his book, a signed copy, and we'll set it up where you can be seen smiling proudly as he speaks directly to you, and as he writes to you a glorious message about resilience and faith and trust, and also, like I said, and adaptability, believing in yourself, because even though there may not be a plan, there may not be an alternative that you can seek at that particular time, but one thing you can seek that he's told me, and I've seen, and I'm telling my clientele, adaptability. And he's doing that in his life. He's adapted. Look at him prior to his book and look at him now. And you'll see a changed man, a man who is looking to reach out, touch lives. And that's exactly what Jose has done. So, Jose, you know what? I'm looking to read your book a second time. That's how much I'm telling you today, everybody. I'm telling you that you will not only just enjoy this book, but this book will push you to the edge. You know, like when you're a writer and when you're writing, a lot of us, because I do it sometime in my writing, you have when you go right to the edge, and sometimes you don't know exactly what the author is actually going to tell you actually happens. Sometimes you don't know, do you? You don't know. So all I'm saying is that the cliffhanger that Jose wants to present, the cliffhanger that I will be presenting, I'm writing a book. The cliffhanger that you will see in my book will let you know that what? It's time it's time out. We've spoken to you. We've told you about our experiences. Now it's time for you to come up with your own plan of action. And that's what adaptability allows you to do. Put aside those old habits, put aside a lot of what you may have already done. Or if you want to take something and reinforce it, make it even better. But the cliffhanger, guys, think about a book, think about a cliffhanger. That's what it's time for you to do. I love movies and books with cliffhangers. I love it because I can then determine what the outcome will be. I can stay steady, and that's what Jose did. He stayed steady for 1,775 days. He relied on his faith and his trust in God, and you too can do the same. He trusted. He had to trust who first? He first had to trust himself. Jose had to trust through that darkness, through the challenge of watching his friends. Like he said, it was like the stock market. He was telling, it's like when it vacillated. Some days you're strong, and some days you may feel weak. But the great thing about he and his 5, I think it was 6 of them. Yes, 6, because his book says, it says sit, go, 6 of them. So when one is not ready to climb that particular day, be there for them, because there will be a day, there will be a time, there will be a moment when darkness comes your way, just like it did for Jose. And the letters that he received from his wife, the letters that he wrote back to her, they helped to one another to keep on climbing, to keep going within that journey. And I ask Jose, and I'm going to ask you today, when you feel freedom is coming your way, when you feel that there's a challenge that you faced is about to be over, when you feel now that it's time for you to get up and walk out the door, how do you feel? I get up, I just feel it's like this a breath of fresh air comes about over me. And I get up and dance, I sing, and I just look really goofy. But you know what? That goofiness is all about me. You can dance and sing. It doesn't matter what anybody else thinks. It's all about the happiness and the joy that you now have contained in your life. And that's what happened with Jose. He told me he knew. He's going to tell you tomorrow how he knew. I won't share that today. He'll tell you within his recording, when he's talking to me, he tells you exactly that moment, those days that it took for Jose, but he hung on. He hung on to dear life because he knew that he'd see his wife again. He knew he would see his children again. He knew, just like you have to do the same. You will know as well, because he said tenacity, it lies in all of us. Courageousness, bravery, resilience, it's there. All you have to do is what? Be tested. Be pushed at the edge. As I said, be pushed like the authors do in their stories. Be pushed to the edge. And then you, at that particular moment, you will then decide the best way to exemplify bravery. You will. And your bravery will then inspire and uplift others, because that's what this is all about. It's reaching out and showing also what you can do to inspire others. But I want to say to you today, I'm so happy to have been here. I'm glad you came and you here today with me. Thank you for coming and spending this 30 minutes here with me. I'm looking forward to all of you reading the book. Read the book, write a book review, refer. And there are no losers, because those who read the book and write a book review, you will be seen in my, there'll be a newsletter written by Jose. I'll be writing a newsletter as well that talks about all of the challenges that will be coming up, even in 2026, you will be able to see who those people are. So I want to say to you, stay brave and stay resilient. And thank you so much. Thank you so much for coming and being here and sharing this day with me. Thank you so much. And thank you, Jose. Thank you, Jose Pereira. And thank you for your bravery. Thank you, everyone.